they banned the Phobias. Valentina rushed doable also because he took out the Phobias.
How about the Mars? Do you think they'll want to play the Marcel this time?
That's why I'm saying. That's why I'm thinking Valentina first.
Valentina.
So you block out the Marcel and the Sora.
Yeah.
They get their Baksha.
Oh yeah, they snuck that through again.
They have been doing this throughout the series, gentlemen. They've been seeing Onic pick a pick, and then they say, all right, let us go. Let us go on.
Yeah. But I mean, this is a Aurora staple. For the longest time, since their inception as a team in MPL Philippines, Baksha has always been on their list of heroes you should not give them.
Deeper than that, I think it's just a Demon Kite staple. Even as far back as before the actual establishment of utility junglers, DK has been like, just...
Yeah.
He's been that guy.
This season, perfect record for the Baksha of Aurora, 5-0.
5-0. And then so King Kong got his first Baksha loss. Last game.
Yeah.
Even with their lose streak, he's 5-0.
Yeah. That's actually kind of insane to think about it, how difficult it's been. The Leo Moore to the Claw to the answer from Onic.
Yeah. If there's one pick here that Aurora could show up as poison later, it would be a Uranus in the EXP. Use it to go invade King Kong's jungle, whatever the Uranus is closest to.
Yeah.
Take a resource away from that. You still have some great Yua picks available in their mid, but with that full dive, it would be tough to play something like a Eve. They might want to consider Lilia Khalid if they really just want mid lane domination and they want to play for their side lanes later. Pick up a Lilia Khalid together. But Light wants to continue the show, and Yua will get a Valentina instead. Of course, because the Lamords on the other side, there's a lot of value of taking away the Phantom Steed, and
Golden
because they
Hour.
know that the Marcel would be going to the other side as well. Oh, man.
Yeah, that's good. Not only that, but also, again, like you mentioned, the Sora, who really hasn't been picked out throughout the series at all, but you got a Valentina, so now that should kind of stop the issue of that coming up too. So really good first phase, I'd say. I mean, you could say the same thing. These are power picks for Onic, but let's go ahead and get some insights here with our on-ground panel. We're going to be throwing it over to Hans and Wolf to share their ideas about this.
Muli, maraming salamat sa ating mga casters. Kanina lamang, game number 3, Onic did the same thing. Baksha Blue 1. But now, what do you think is going to be the difference moving forward para sa Aurora since parehas din yung ginawa nila?
Yeah, I think kasi nakaw nila dito yung show na magiging crucial para dito sa Onic Philippines. At the same time, hindi pa natin nakikita yung kanilang gold laner NXP. So madali pang i-adjust yung side lanes dito. Trio mid ang inuna ng Aurora, kaya naman mas ma-adjust pa nila. I do like the adjustment mula sa Onic Philippines. Ginawa nila dito yung Marcel. I think both teams have gotten the first 3 picks na maganda for both of them.
Yeah, because when you're looking at the 3-level composition, it is Onic Philippines na kahit papano meron ng damage-dealing heroes with the Claude and the Leomord. But if they can fortify or kung meron pang ilalakas yung lineup ng dalawang squads na ito, how would they finish it off?
They will have to look for a long-range nuke mula sa Onic Philippines, tipong mga Eve, mga Farsa na may good combination with this Marcel. And then close it off with a tanky hero na may setup pa rin dito para sa Onic Philippines, para kay Kirk, like maybe an Alice, eventually, nakikita natin, or Terizla. And Aurora kailangan handa rin dun sa mga ganong heroes.
Eve, Farsa, you've mentioned it para sa Onic, but considering that the Valentina is on the other side, magiging malaking problema ba to para sa Onic or will they have to worry about it less?
Good point. Kasi yung naisip ko katulad yung Terizla at Alice, good copies agad yun para isang Valentina. Kaya maganda yung pagkakapwesto ng Valentina dito para sa Aurora.
Now, if you're looking at the show and the Baksha na first 3 compositions para sa Aurora Gaming, facing off against Onic, what would the Marcel role be para sa Onic PH?
Pag-setup to, maghanap ka ng mga tipong Kimi to combo it up, which means na itong Aurora, kailangan meron silang burst with this Claude. Kaya magandang ban yung Harit. Maybe Clit yung matitira dito para sa Aurora to go with Lapu-Lapu para kay Edward.
That's gonna be it for us here at the ground panel. Casters, balik sa inyo.
Thank you very much, Hans and Wolf, there for your insights, and for our international viewers out there that are tuning in, and wondering everything they said. I know you probably heard some of the hero names thrown out, but yes, Wolf was also saying that in order to make this Marcel work, you need to tank your XP lane to go ahead and help him. Acknowledge it and also allow it to do its thing, and then at the same time, Aurora most likely picks up a Lapu-Lapu or a Clint to go ahead and highlight on what they already got the first draft phase, but also the Valentina is just so strong here for Aurora right now because it is also making Onic consider, do we just overload the options of ultimates, or do we really want to pick certain ones? Terizla is also a great ultimate to take. We've seen this before where a penalty zone from a Valentina sometimes is more effective.
This is a stroke of genius, though, because Onic knows that Aurora wants that Terizla.
Yeah.
They steal it, and they know that Aurora's not going to rush for either a Selena nor, rather, a Farsa nor an Eve, as mentioned by Wolf also, because they already have the Valentina. Unless there's no way that serves the XP.
I mean, they can still back up the Uranus, as we mentioned, but I like the idea of the Lapu Lapu. Might be a little bit more viable considering the Selena and the Valir were banned out. There's the mid pick for Onic. Yeah, they need that burst and they need a little bit more range, but I'd want to see a lot of things on the ground. I'd want to see them consider a Lilia. Edward brings back a Benedetta, and they get up a Moskov despite there being a Marcel on the other side. This is just a confidence pick right now by Aurora. Not always the easiest time to make a Moskov work when you're up against a Marcel, but yeah, they're feeling it.
Oh, and Louis Yi. So this is a Super Friends pick. He's made it work before. Now he's going to bring it to this in a game that is so crucial right now for them to extend the series.
Maybe only the second most prolific low Yi user in MPL Philippines. Second to the Lone Stallion Sanji. This is going to be interesting. Yeah. I like how Onic are capable of, just folding the map in half and again, using the world's longest BMI.
Yeah, I also like that. I sort of got my wish of seeing a lot of things on the ground. Of course, with the interaction of the low Yi abilities, you need something with a capability of zoning, crowd control, and damage, which is what is delivered by the kit of the low Yi anyway when she wants to damage. While at the same time, as you mentioned, they realized that they can't go all in with team fights. They needed to find a way to play the map, and they got it with the low Yi. Honestly, the low Yi pick just answered a lot of the things of what Onic needed. Instead of them leaning towards one way a little too strong, they were able to balance it out.
Well, there we go. Match point for this battle, the international rivalry, the last one of Season 17. Only one of these teams can move on forward, and right now it's Onic, the super fan, that wants to extend the series to a Game 5. We're on Flying Clouds, and we're jumping on in.
Put yourself together for you. Still a Festival of Blood for Edward, Inspire for Friends. We got Tenacity. All right. Pretty standard on the emblem sets. So far, a lot of pokes coming in from Yue towards Brusco, who just wants to protect the orange side of Onic. Gonna get invaded by Edward and Demon Kite. Hell, 4 members of Aurora.
Uh-oh. It's their turn to pull their own version of the orange gambit. Now Brusco running through, freezing them all. Perth does oblige, force the flicker through that wall the long way around. Yeah. I think Aurora wins that engagement.
Yeah, King Kong needs to compensate by getting Litho and one of the green camps here because he got his own Lizard. So the math usually is Lizard plus 1 green camp, plus your 2 buffs should bring you very close to orange. While for Demon Kite, still they weren't able to, Onic were still actually able to hold on to the Golem. They compensated instead by getting the Beetle up top.
Oh, that was really close. They were going to see if they could get an attempt on Brusco. They don't. A little bit of trading across the map, though, in terms of the jungle, but also I think one thing you have to worry about if you're Aurora facing against this this combination of having the golden hour there, which could essentially set things up for Louis on Super Friends to really get the interactions off, and then utilizing a diversion too. There's a lot of kind of weird things this composition from Onic can do. Taken and granted too that you're on a Flying Cloud map and you can get back to the fight time and time again if you need to. They just don't want to fall too far behind like they did previously. And they have plenty of tools to play around with. I think that's one of the highlights here for Onic's lineup, as now the first turtle is up. Some of these level 4s still coming into play. Edward has his. The select the final blow, and even the Phantom Seed for UA could play a part. Diversion used up on the top side for Super Friends.
Onic have fully relocated. That is a 4-man coalition light. Force a response out of Super Friends. There's the real Leo Mord calling in his ult, and the penalty zone. Savano coming in, blazing the wet, but Brusca survives. Not so fast as Yue, taking him down. Edward. King Kong finds a trade. Down goes Edward. King Kong will go down as Yue dashes through the wall, uses the flicker, and gets a trade. 2 for 1 for Aurora.
US saved that for Aurora. And again, another pick you have to watch out for. If there's a Leo Mord on the other side, expect the Valentina to be one of the answers because of just how well Valentina shines with getting the Phantom Steed for cleanup, for aggression, for setup. It's a perfect toolkit for a Valentina.
Yeah, we see a little fight for the gold crab there. Severo's going to grab that one, but that's true. You know, a lot of times when you see the Valentina picked up across a Leo Mord, It's so deadly with its own Phantom Steed, and you can play around that, and that's what we see here now as they get situated here. Even though the first objective went over to Onic, it's pretty much equilibrium across the board up to this point.
I think Onic need to... By the way, great rotation by Severo to get the Blazing Duet in. But the difference maker really was the fact that there was a Leomord cosplay for the side of Aurora. Still, could be anyone's game. I'm not seeing a lot of errors, not seeing a lot of pinpoints or pain points right now in terms of how things are getting executed. Whoa!
There's a duel, Blazing Duet. An SOD by Dominasi as well. I'll call that a technical knockout. I think Severo really pulled the trigger, knowing well that he can send Dominasi home. Oh.
Yeah, he's going to be able to get the gold grab, and Prince got the diversion to bring King Kong closer to mid. I think they were thinking that there were rotation-wise members of Aurora towards that side, or maybe Yue would overstep. The guy's going to be rolling up level 4 for Brusco, level 4 for Light. Edward's first item is locked in with a Heptaseas, while the glowing wand comes in for Yue.
Yeah, Dominasi. Okay, just a little visit up here. He's not going to be able to catch Edward, but Dominasi not doing too bad. Yes, he is down just a few hundred gold against Severo, but Severo on the cloud, he is going to be able to do this, and you know he's going to double lane and handle things, everything else. Now this turtle spawns, second one in the game up top.
I think Dominasi is handling lane really well because he knows Severo is probably going to look to join in this fight if he gets the fast clear.
Okay, Yue takes the Phantom Steed again. Fight for it.
And there's it is, calling in by King Kong. Penalty zone coming through, look at the damage. Dropped in, SOD, will they press the button? Dominasi still not pressing it, down goes Kirk. Man down for Onic. And just like that, Aurora have the advantage. Onic will not force the issue.
Good initiation, but with the Terizla down, Onic will have to give this up. They know it. The SOD also landed right in time. Aurora get turtle, number 2. No dire straits, but that was just a perfect entry by Edward. Onic were not ready for the Electro Final Blow Petrified combo to come from that angle.
That had to be the very last second that he could follow through that SOD. Whoa, Edward gets a flicker.
Out of Super Prince. Will he get punished? That's the question.
Oh.
And it seems like, yes, he just too deep. King Kong takes out Edward.
Bot time because Severo's now getting pressured in bot.
Severo, another Blazing Duet. Pushing Dominasi back. Does he know that Demon Kite and Light are here? BMI back. Here comes the backup. Super Prince and Brusco coming through. Defensive views of the SOD. The flicker back. Close call.
Yeah. Really good for Light to be there. Just good response on both sides. That was really a back and forth between both teams, but they keep their gold laners alive.
Yeah, they know it's a really tense situation. Very fast to pull the trigger. And trying to find an angle for either of these two because Aurora team fights so far slightly better.
Yep.
They always have 1 or 2 options remaining after Onic have blown out the majority of their abilities. While for Onic, they can play the map a bit more maybe, but it's tough with Moskov on the other side.
Oh, Light. Okay. He's going to get out of there. He's got to be a little more cautious. He doesn't have a flicker available. There's 4 members of Onic down here on this bottom side. They want to take this tier 1 out. Brusco will stall out Light from going back to the base. They want the turret. They get it. They'll take a diversion back to the mid lane.
Oh! Thrown out by Kurt. There's the electric final blow, plus the petrify by Edward. Severo with the Blazing Duet. SOD catches it.
Oh no,
King Kong calls in. Barbiel. Demon Kite gets taken down. Kirk eventually still repairs the situation.
If that was me, if I'm Kirk, I'm just going all part of the plan, boys. No one saw that.
Anyways.
But we got the win. We got the win.
Yep. They made it happen. Again, both the teams are doing a really good job at mirroring each other across the map to be there when they need to. But now it's 1-for-1 for the Turtles on both sides. This third Turtle in control of Onic right now. Not sure if Aurora is going to contest it. They just give it up because Demon Kite just spawned, so he'll go ahead and grab his purple instead as they get ready to prep for this Lord here. So majority of these fights too, it's been the 4 guys across from each other. Now we'll start to see the gold laners come into play a little bit more here. I'm wondering where things are falling into place item-wise. Golden Staff now for Severo. He's gotta be close to the, that was his second item, right?
Yeah, still kind of far.
Still kind of far. Oh, Demon Kite.
And the Golden Hour stops Demon Kite. Where are you going? Brusco puts a stack on that freeze on him. In comes King Kong running through. Charges through. Blazing Duet gets back. Though, as Severo does still hold on.
Wow.
Oh, they're happy with the pushback.
Yeah, safe by Kite Brother. Diversion just to quickly reposition instead of walking.
Good little peel there coming out from the team. Again, that's been the nature of this game already, the game 4. Aurora trying to peel for Demon Kite if he has to, and you know, again, playing for Dominasi on this Moskov. We've seen a couple close team fights, and a big play of that with this kind of composition is, again, these gold laners. DHS just picked up, so both have the 2 items locked in as they build into the third here. Severo has been pretty good at just being where he needs to be in Blazing Duet and relying on, if he's got to rely on the Louis for Super Prince to get out and out, he can. They can use it later on like we've seen before when the Lord is up and you can get that longest BMI positioning in favor of you utilizing the Louis. So this is all a great macro possibility for Onic. Whoa, mid lane?
Oh, they try to collapse on the light, but he's just too elusive. Close call.
Kirk. Now sending Dominasi back. Oh, Kirk's in trouble.
And Dominasi finds the Bakshi Knight on him. In comes Brusco. Golden Hour. The kick just right outside. In comes the rest of Onic. The Super Fam thinking, should we? Shall we?
They can turn.
We will. In they go. Blazing to it. Plus penalty zone. Severo right in Dominasi's face as Kirk just survives, but barely. King Kong once more. King Kong running through Brusco. Very low. Yue will not force the issue. That's a 1-for-none take, plus a turret.
Yeah.
Onic are just pushing forward the tempo.
Perfect tempo, and this is why this low Yi pick is so good for Onic. They needed to be able to cover the map and cover the ground so much faster, while also have some great tools mid-team fight.
Oh, this Lord is up. Onyx going to go ahead and try to blitz it as fast as they can. It's already less than half health here. Is Aurora going to do anything or just give it up?
I think they just should. Onic are just playing hard to get, baiting them in. That's a Lord secured for the Super Fam.
There you go.
Well done, Onic. Well done, Kirk, also with that turn with the penalty zone and the flicker.
He survived.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure Aurora expected that, and they saw that coming, but they still found themselves in an awkward spot where 3 of them were close enough to get penalty zoned anyway. So
yeah,
I think a bit of a misposition there by Aurora, also trying to handle that whole situation.
Yeah, it was so good too, timing with the Blazing Duet from Severo. Yeah. If only, you know, they were able to capitalize it on a little bit more, but I think they were happy with what they got. They're slowly chipping down these turrets.
It was for a turret.
Yep, opening up the map. He's now got his Trinity locked in for Severo.
Wave clear is tough for Aurora. They have to commit a lot of big ticket abilities just to clear the minion waves well.
Not to mention the range issue, which can be punished again by a mad combo between the DPZ and the Blazing Duet. Quick rotation down bottom. Onic are just in Aurora's heads, like, where are we going to pop up next?
Yeah, that's one of the things you kind of forget about the strengths of having a Louis in your favor. Lord will charge up into this bottom base turret. It'll swing with the cloud there. I don't know if Light's going to try to do anything off this. They just want to clear out the Lord and these waves as mid-tier 2 will fall as well here. As Onic continues to build up on this lead. Oh, SOD thrown out. You don't want to follow through with that, but they're trying to defend onto this.
King Kong with the Phantom Steed.
Oh, Edward.
To disincentivize any more aggression, and Edward gets taken down. Light looking for something, but Super Prince violence, serving up the kill, and they rotate. Diversion up top, Super Prince stays. He was going to go home, though, as Aurora still reeling from the pain of that rotation down bottom, cannot defend this top lane push.
The ideal was there, the timing just wasn't.
Yeah, not yet endable though. But Onic have played this brilliantly. I think that was a little bit desperate. I think they were trying to force out the BMI early from Severo. But then Severo just stood his ground. He's like, I'm going to basic attack. I don't care. I have the Purify anyway. Yeah. And he knows that he has enough lifesteal, enough vamp to survive the initial hits that he'll get either from the Moskov or the Benedetta. And since he didn't commit that BMI, it forced Aurora to awkwardly force an attempt on him and the rest of Onic.
That's what the last 2 big team fights have been. It's like this awkward fight for Aurora.
Yeah. And he knows that he has enough lifesteal, enough vamp to survive the initial hits that he'll get either from the Moskov or the Benedetta. And since he didn't commit that BMI, it forced Aurora to awkwardly force an attempt on him and the rest of Onic.
That's what the last 2 big team fights have been. It's like this awkward fight for Aurora.
Yeah.
That it's just not going to favor them here. Got a flicker available for Kirk.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's just not going to favor them here. Got a flicker available for Kirk.
Yeah.
If he decides to try to push into the base, but they'll most likely just wait for the Lord. It's up here in less than 10. then they get ready to cap out the game to bring it to game 5.
This is Marcel with the Guardian helmet and the photo flask of the Oasis, so a lot of utility. He's going to be difficult to take down.
Oh,
Good seal.
Used. We'll
Brusco
scout him out.
going hunting. Spots light in that Y brush. Flushes him out.
Yeah. One thing that Onic has to be careful of is you already has a Divine Glaive.
Okay. Let's see. He doesn't have an ult stolen. Demon Kite gets blasted down.
SOD.
There's King Kong. Popping it. Gets kicked by Light, but Light goes down. Lord still standing. Blazing the wet by Saveras. King Kong secured. And they take it out on Demon Kite. 2 kills plus the Lord. All super fam.
Very clean. They know they have a massive resource lead. And Onic are just executing these fights really well. See? Keep it low to the ground. Don't overcook. And you're doing really well.
UA's holding on to his own penalty zone. They got to hold on for the rest of the team to come up for Aurora as Lord makes its way up top. The last base turret does fall, though. And now Onic is just waiting for the potential to end this game. But at least for Aurora, they'll have a full team up for this defense.
But a full team going up against Onic with 10 bands up, almost 10 bands up. They will try to take down Kirk. Kirk's still holding on to that penalty zone. Oh, here comes the big fat Lord wave. And it the flicker and the blazing the wet to answer. Savero does take down Light. Double kill for him. Edward falls. And Demon Kite will try, but it will be all for naught as Onic has their eyes on the base. We're going all the way as Onic go 2-2.
The toughest region, the home of champions. Day 1, match 1, season 17 playoffs will max out.
Hey, I'm glad we're maxing out here on this kind of match between world champions in their own right. And it all comes down to one game. This has been sort of a back and forth from each game throughout the series. But this time, Onic didn't overcook, man. They brought a lineup that maybe you weren't entirely thinking that would happen. The Luyi was a classic pick for Super Prince when they need it, and it happened here.
This was a medium rare with the mashed peas and corn on the side and maybe some gravy. That's it.
There's no meat.
What? Just said medium rare.
Oh, medium rare. Wait, oh yeah, medium rare steak.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Were you
chicken.
thinking he said medium rare corn?
Yeah, that was medium rare.
What is
corn.
medium rare corn?
You know, when it's still like a little bit, you know what I'm saying. I'll go into more. Brusco getting the MVP.
Yep.
So what part of the food plate was Brusco?
Oh, he was the food blogger influencer taking the photos
Taking the photos.
of the well-made dish.
And he had a photo, by the way, right? Flask of the Oasis there. 0, 2, and 10 on the Marcel.
100% kill participation. The 2 MVPs for Onic in this series have had 100% KP. Which is why this really is a battle of who gets a much better picks, less cooking around the center of the map. The Loyi was just perfect, and it's actually turns out a really great combo with the Marcel as well. Because if ever the Marcel and the Loyi are caught together, Loyi generates shields for herself. Marcel could potentially give shields to Loyi as well, meaning it's a difficult combo to go up against. We're reminded yet again, yes, there's this awkward relationship with Cho that there are some Chos that are so good that traditionally Marcel should beat it, but it doesn't. But this is a stark reminder of why Marcels usually do really well against Cho this season.
Yeah, this is just nature in order. Mechanically speaking, the Cho just really struggles against the Marcel, which now brings us to an interesting fork in the road.
Yeah.
A branching pathway, if you will. Now that we've kept it close down to the ground, both teams drafting excellently.
Yep.
Playing, to the best of their abilities. It was, pretty close up until the 6-minute mark.
Yeah.
Where does this leave the whole Marcel question? Does Aurora ban the Marcel? Because I think it's clear. I don't think I'm blowing smoke up anyone's behind.
Yeah.
Light doesn't like the Marcel. Aurora just doesn't play Marcel.
Yeah.
So do they ban it? That opens up a whole slew of picks for Onic.
It might be worth the... I don't know. It might be
They
worth
can't
it.
beat it with the Valentina.
Yeah. It might be worth one of those moments where you just go for that ban on the Marcel in Game 5.
Or was it the Cho into the Marcel?
I think
that broke the
It might have been more so that.
I think
Might
the
have-
Cho into the Marcel to me was kind of awkward, bro.
because the Cho came up in
Red, blue 3.
2-3,
After
right?
you saw Claude and Leomord, and you could have picked up the Cho, the Marcel, but instead you picked up the Cho.
But again, this is Aurora we're talking about.
Yeah, it's not really a Marcel team, which maybe that's where, yeah, as you mentioned, Onic are looking to pinpoint on. But again, the closeout with the Turizla, really good. The Loyi was just a perfect pick. They were stuck with either a Moskov or a Clint, but Moskov struggles against the Marcel. The Benedetta, again, with all of the mobility for Onic, your main target is what? The Loyi. But then you have either, most likely, the Marcel near it. And then we talked about the relationship of the whole Marcel and Loyi thing together, where they empower one another, and Marcel adds even extra protection for the Loyi. Again, it's like whichever team I dog on does better in the draft in the next game.
But again, there's only one last game left.
There's only one last game left.
Which will be randomized. Yeah.
Okay, to help all of the fans watching that might be new to, you know, this little shindig, I'm gonna put it in combat sports terms.
Combat sports.
Yep. Onic is a complete MMA artist. They just know almost all of it to some extent, right?
Yeah.
Aurora, they just have a weird ground game. And that's Marcel. They just don't do so well when Marcel is introduced.
So they're always trying to fight standing.
Correct.
They don't want to be on the ground.
They've got great question mark kicks. They got a nice team. It's just don't sprawl on me, bro.
Yeah.
Don't try to sweep me.
I hope we have some combat fans.
There's plenty.
Plenty out there.
There's plenty.
Yeah. I don't know. I have to see what the insights are from Hans and Wolf on the on-ground panel. What do they think about this combat?
Maraming salamat sa ating mga casters. Wolf, I don't know what to tell you, but that is the perfect way to respond. The Onic Philippines has won game number 4 at unang serye pa lamang natin ay 5-game series na kaagad ang ating makikita. There were so many good things that we could say about how Onic has performed kanina lamang, but probably 2 things to be specific. One, first off, is Savero not getting enough ganks. And in fact, siya pa nga mismo yung dumadalaw sa ibang lanes, right?
Sobrang nakita ko dun yung kung paano niya nakip yung kanyang lane intact. Merong parts sa mid-game kung saan ginagank na siya ng 3 members at maraming mga ultimate na ginagamit sa kanya. Pero nagulat ako kasi maaga niya ginamit yung Blazing Do-It na delikado pala. Pero nangyari, nabigyan niya ng oras na dumating yung teammates niya and that was enough para bugawin yung side ng Aurora. Alam ni Savero kung paano talaga makakapag-farm. Kaya naman siguro siya din yung naging eventually pinakamayaman na player dito sa laban to because of how he's able to keep his gold in check.
And because of the performance na nagawa ni Savero, merong mga naging failed ganks na nagawa yung Aurora that would have been crucial for them para makaangat palalo, but that did not happen. Another thing was some of the words na nasasabi ng ating mga casters. Diversion play. How does that exactly happen and how efficient was Onic Philippines in making that work?
Very, very quickly, hindi lang yung ultimate ng Luyi, pati yung pag-distract nila dun sa invasion na ginagawa ng Aurora, dun sa jungle nila, si King Kong nakakapag-split push, and then eventually Luyi, the control of the map was there for Onic Philippines.
With that being said, I'm sure that we have a lot of thoughts, but I think we have to include one more person. San Juan Arena, please give a warm round of applause to one of our content creators. You probably watch him online. It's ML All Day PH. How would we address you? How would we address you? You know what? ML All Day na lang. I think you can work with that too, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so...
Low-key lang siya, no?
Oo, low-key lang siya. May mukha ka pala talaga. Akala namin boses ka lang. Pero hey, talk to us about this series. Since makikita naman na namin to sa page mo mismo, ano sa tingin mo yung mga napapansin mo all throughout the match that would say is a pattern per se?
Parang ini-expect ko talaga na aabot ng Game 5 kasi M6 saka M7 champions. Pero yung Game 5 talagang hindi masasabi kung sino mananalo. Siguro kung sino yung hindi magpipick ng back siya.
Oo nga, no?
Kaya mananalo.
Kasi nag-back siya yung Onic nung Game 3.
Tama.
Back siya yung Aurora nung Game number 4. Teka nga, matanong ko lang, Wolf, ano bang meron dun sa back siya at bakit hindi siya nag-work over the last 2 games?
Parang sa ngayon talaga mas pabor dun sa mas aggressive na mga heroes in the scaling role. Diba? Aggressive naman yung back siya mga laruin pero kasi masyadong magic-based eh. Yun ang problema ko doon tsaka kulang na damage.
Now, we're looking at some XP laners naman, ML All Day PH. What do you think about Benedetta and Paquito being picked in this current meta? What are your thoughts on it?
Yung Paquito, nakikita ko siya sa ibang region nag-work. Pero so far sa atin, hindi pa napagana ni Kirk. Pero hopefully, wag siya gamitin sa next match.
Grabe, so yung Pakito yon. Paano naman sa Benedetta?
Yung Benedetta, okay siya eh. Kaso natalo ng game 4.
Okay, so heavy hitters. I think that's what ML All Day PH is telling us, Wolf. Yung mga major na playmakers but also the ones dealing damage. Ganun na ba kalaki or hot commodity siya in this current meta?
100%. Kasi nasa playoffs, once na nasa playoffs na tayo, gigil yung mga players natin. Nakikita mo naman on point yung mga players natin. So when they're given heroes that can deal the damage, kaya talaga nilang i-execute.
With that being said, we are moving forward to game number 5. San Juan Arena, they need all of your support. This might be the last game para sa isa sa kanila and only one is gonna be moving forward. Casters, balik sa inyo.
Thank you so much. Great to have our on-ground panel there with ML Update. I've seen them before.
ML All Day PH.
ML All Day.
PH. Is it weird to say that he looks the way I imagine he would look?
I mean, he had a face mask on though. Well, because he's kind of anonymous, right? Like you just.
Yeah, not gonna lie, I thought he was AI.
You thought he was AI?
Yeah, I did not realize he was an actual person.
It's not impossible that AI employed this random gentleman to
Yeah.
attend on their behalf. I don't know.
He
So it's
had
like-
an idea, by the way.
Yeah.
The team that doesn't pick Baksha, but this is the team who picks Claude will win the series. How true is that?
I'm a little bit more towards that idea.
This one,
I
Claude?
think Claude is, because there was one pick earlier in the very first game that if Onic got, would have changed the picture differently in the second phase for Aurora. That's the Claude. And the Claude was the MVP there for Aurora, and Onic really didn't have the right damage profile for it. They got the matchup, the Bruno in the Claude in favor, but in the big picture, the Claude just works well better with the rest of the pieces of Aurora. So if I'm any of these two, if it's available, if you can go for it, pick the Claude up right away. It's not an overthink. It's not you overvaluing a pick also. There's a reason why Claude is one of the top picked heroes all over the world.
Everywhere. It's for this one though. I almost would have wondered if it would have been also Marcel. Like we were just talking about that before we went to the on-ground panel.
Marcel is a great supporting actor,
Yeah.
but he's no Arnold. Claude is Arnold right now.
Yeah.
Claude is he's Rambo.
Yeah.
So
Claude is
Marcel
Mel
is-
Gibson in the 90s.
Something
Dolph
like that.
Lundgren?
Something like that. You know what? But let's go ahead and take a listen in and a watch with this. I think it's with Aurora Edward.
Ano pang nag-motivate sa'yo? Bakit ka pa pumalag ngayong season?
Ayun nga, dahil sa MSC rin talaga. Kasi yun na lang yung kulang ko sa trifecta eh. Kumbaga, yun na lang yung kulang ko para mabuo yung missing piece sa Trophy of Cabinet. Edward J. Dapadap, explainer ng Aurora.
Meron ka bang pwedeng i-share sa amin kung anong klaseng tao si Edward na hindi pa alam ng mga tao?
Outside the game, makulit siya, honestly. Parang ang hilig niya makihalubilo sa team. Kumbaga, pagdating sa banding, hindi talaga siya nawawala.
Most of the time, ayun, lagi siya tumatawa, especially kay Light. Kasi si Light, ano siya eh, lagi ito, jolly, kaya lagi nakatawa si Edward.
Ano naman yung nagiging action niya kapag natatalo kayo?
Kay Edward, parang hindi sa kanya normal yung talo eh. Kasi napagdaanan niya rin yun. So, yun, parang tinitake niya lang. Wala acceptance kasi nangyayari. Hindi naman lagi kami nananalo. Though, talagang pagdadaan din talaga yung team yung pagkatalo. And syempre,
You know what? I hope that one day, in Perfect Player, someone says Aura, Edward. Because he has such a silent confidence.
He does. He's got aura.
does.
Oh, from Aurora.
Yeah, oh, that's right. I was waiting. I was waiting
It's
for
all
like,
right.
the second delivery.
You know what? It's all right. But
I thought there was more to it.
Yeah, I thought there was more to it.
I was looking at you in the eye.
That was a great dramatic pause. I didn't want to like steal your thunder.
Hey, you know what? You'll never steal my thunder, Redmar, because I have plenty for all of us. Now, also, what I will say is Edward has a lot for the whole team, and I don't know, I get a little, I'm always pulled into these videos, man. They're so sentimental, like through the music and everything. I'm really glad that they get to shoot some content like that because, you know, we had the Onic one previously.
For King Kong.
And then now we have this one with Edward. And yeah, that's crazy to think that, you know, amidst all of it, think about all the teammates Edward's worked with, played with.
Everywhere he's been.
Everywhere he's been. And then the one thing missing from his trophy cabinet is literally the MSC tournament. Like, that's his driving force. And so, you know, hopefully this next game is so. For me, I almost have to flip a coin for this one because I don't know. I don't know who's going to win Game 5.
Yeah, it goes back to the very top of the key to victory that was mentioned earlier by Wolf and Hans, which was just draft patterns. What you get, what you're willing to trade out. Clearly, for 4 games now, there's always been a pick or two in every draft that has made us go, huh? Or whoa.
Yeah.
Either because of sheer disbelief of that was picked and something else was given up, or just grand acceptance of a really good pick. That's why you feel like this is a coin toss, because the draft has always been so unpredictable in both good and bad ways.
I like it.
There's at least one thing you can point to.
Yeah.
What if we come to a draft for, you know, for both teams, wherein nothing is wrong, and it all comes down to execution?
Very well could be. You know, one of the players here that executed throughout the season was Super Prince, you know, and this is executive interview that he had with Push ABS CBN.
Push.
What do they, so he is strict during practices. He's very straightforward to say, you know, if he sees something that his friends or his teammates can improve on to get better or that he needs to mention.
Even the coaches?
Even the coaches, because he is known as just being that guy. And oh, this is. Can you guys do this? Oh man, I miss it. There's the long words,
Even
man.
when it comes to reminders,
Yeah.
it always falls on him.
Good luck to me translating later.
You're doing it.
I'm sure you can.
Trying.
Yeah, you got this.
Thank you.
You need backup for later? No, you know what? You got this. You're
I got
you're
this.
a big boy.
He's
Game
got plenty
5.
of thunder.
I got plenty of thunder, man.
Ooh.
Hey, so does Onic though, but we're going to expanding rivers.
Totally random map.
Totally random for Game 5.
And it was Onic that won it in the last time. That was the draft where they went red side, banned Freya, Baksha, Guinevere, went Phovius, Claude, Leomord. So they got the Claude, Leomord again last time. If I'm Onic, just rush the Claude if they could.
Just the Claude is going to be the guy.
Yeah, one of the first 2 picks. I think even more so than the Harith. But it's tough to say. With the Harith such being a power pick for Aurora, if Aurora ended up winning game number 5 because Onic gave up the Harith, then it would look bad for Onic. It's one of those things where no matter what happens, someone's going to get mad.
As long as you cover your bases and you don't end up with weird interactions or totally weird picks, like again, forcing the Paquito, Belric from out of nowhere, that might just be it. Like the coin flip in the gold lane.
Man, I'm kind of sad that the gold lane has resulted into what it has. Like, it's still just very much Claude Harith, with the occasional switch up of Clint or Bruno or, you know, Moskov.
Carry is just totally kicked out.
At least for this series, yeah.
I think even overall, like worldwide.
Oh, yeah.
We haven't really seen the shadow of a carry in weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah. She really dipped out. It just ended up falling to Harith and Claude. There have even been like some weird random Granger picks that ended up making a lot more sense.
And not carry.
Yeah, and not carry it because it covered with a range. I think that's what hurts her the most. The fact that she's not as mobile, and sometimes her damage can be underwhelming for what she needs to do in a team fight.
Right here, right now.
Yeah.
Not a good Sky Piercer carrier.
Yeah. Yeah, there's just, I don't know. Hopefully we're in a meta where there's more than Claude and Harith being picked up for the most part, you know? Which is, again, a thing to say about the gold laners who have, what, 12 unique heroes being picked up throughout the regular season. So let's see. We're seconds away from jumping into our final draft between these 2 teams here. Again, it's expanding rivers for the final randomized choice for this Game 5. Oh, there's the rivers. Now I see it.
Yeah. Like translucent, and it's with the help of the lights.
Yeah.
So they flow past the VIP section.
Oh.
Okay.
Different sides now, which puts the weight of the whole Claude, Valen, Fovius, Marcel, Harith, Harley Suyo weight on Onic's shoulders. I think they have to not remove one of those power picks and just overload Aurora with choices that they still end up with something really good.
Oh, they banned it out.
Very good. Very good.
So this takes the headline out of the question now. Who cares? We'll ban them.
Now it becomes even more of a coin toss.
It falls on ML all day PH's call now.
The
box,
Baksha.
yeah, still left open.
Yeah. And then our low-key one, the Marcel. Who's
Marcel
that
Valentina.
supporting actor?
Yeah. He's not even a supporting actor, dude. He's a cameraman.
If Onic,
cameraman.
if Onic get Baksha, I think I'd like to see them pull out the page from KOG's book and go Baksha, Marcel, Jusin as their first 3 picks.
But Jushin's banned out.
Oh, sorry, Zetian.
Zetian.
I meant Zetian.
Okay. They could make it happen. Kalea banned, the last one from Aurora. Priority, they go Baksha.
Fovius still open. Did you go Fovius Harith for the swing? Or is that too greedy?
I think they need something with more dive, because Severo could either end up with a Moskov or even a YSS later, maybe even the Clint. That they need something that can dive. I think you save the EXP pick later.
Even with Fovius out in the wild, this is a rare occurrence.
Even with that way you can end up settling for something like a Yuzhong or a Lapu Lapu later. But they might just bite the bullet and just go for, you know what, fine, we'll go Fovius, we'll go Harith, just so we don't have to worry about it.
Oh, it's a utility matchup in the jungle. They go Fred Val.
There's an Eve open.
If Aurora...
Oh, they take the Fovius too.
If Aurora makes it through to the next stage, it's going to be off of Demon Kite's back on this Fredrin. There's the Fovius. Do they have any necessary rush to Harith here?
No, they can even go Kimmy. Kimmy with Fovius and Baksha do really well against a Fredrin and a Valen, or even just a Lilia. Mid lane pick can completely mess up Aurora here right now if they're not going to rush a Severo pick, if they're not going to rush a Brusco pick.
So if they go mid, Eve, Farsa, Gord.
Maybe not Farsa. I'm more Eve, Lilia, Gord here.
Oh, yeah, it's going to be Gord. Okay. This is one of the things, too, that he has, like, this is more space for the Gord to work with.
Yeah. And then for the roam, yeah, this is why they even need more dive for EXP. They're going to go for their back line.
But you can't easily just Sora, not because the Valen is on your side. It's you're still going to get punished.
Yeah. So either go Sora. Oh, no, not Sora. I'm leaning more towards either Lapu. Glue might be a bit slow, but I could see it somewhat. They can pick up their gold now, or gold at red 4, because they're going to be the first pick in the swing back. But again, Severo, I think that might be like one of the biggest stories for him is he has the widest hero pool this season. They do end up going the Lapu Lapu, so at least they recovered somewhat in the EXP.
Yeah, the Lapu's great. Both sides, it's interesting, right? You got your mid, your XP locked in, your jungles, of course, which are throwing back to the utility jungle matchup here. So this is a solid first phase for both sides. We're going to throw it over to our on-ground panel for some more insights. Hans and Wolf, take it.
Maraming salamat sa ating mga casters. Looking at the first 3 picks ng ating dalawang teams, something is quite familiar. Baksha and Fredrin in the big 2026.
Oo nga, Year of our Lord 2026. Makikita natin si King Kong laban kay Demon Kite na magpaprioritize ng Baksha versus Fredrin. But this also means na mape-pressure ang Onic Philippines as they will be the ones na parang may
the series opened with Yue playing Valentina. He had one of the Valentina performances of all time earlier the regular season. Light on the Marcel, maybe we gotta give him a second chance.
Now the thing about the lineup of Onic is, if you look at their pieces, reaching Dom and Kite will have to mean King Kong Shield Unity or Kirk Flicker Dark Wave. For Aurora, it's so much coverage to be able to access the carry. Again, that's going to be backing Flicker here, not Purify. No Purifies. But the difference is that there's a Revitalize for Brusco. The team, if we're talking about team fights, Onic theoretically should be a little bit better. But in terms of the speed, Aurora have that.
Well, here we go. Which team is it going to be? It's down to this. We've crawled our way through the series to 5 games. And now it's either going to be Onic Philippines to move forward or Aurora Gaming Philippines. They brought their best for this draft, and it all starts here.
It's going to be the attack speed spell vamp for the carry.
Kung kaya sila masusuportahan yan ng mas maayos? Kailangan ko ba magpalit ng strategies? Nagagampanan ko kaya ng mga...
Cool Onic with that orange gambit. They successfully take it away from Demon Kite.
Even looking at this, man, Demon Kite on the Fredrin. I know we talked about him playing the Baksha before.
Whoa. Fritz here gets saved by Brusco, and in comes King Kong forcing a flicker out of Light.
Wow, really good rotation.
Yeah. The good thing is Light forced his flicker out. Brusco didn't even need to use his Revitalize. So you take an aggressive trade like that because you're trading out battle spells. Brusco, good discipline to not use it. He didn't panic.
Yeah, I'm wondering how this matchup is going to go in the gold lane, just because both gold laners, you know, sometimes I wish we could have just a dedicated camera for them, and we know how spicy it can get in the gold lane between Dominkite and Severo, but him being on the carry here for Severo, this is what we were left wondering. How would this play out in team fights? Good little stun. Jumping forward from Demon Kite with the energy eruption. Turtle's going to be up. They have control of this side of the map right now. We'll see what Onic does. Brusco goes for the reset. He's held on to the Revitalize, and now Kirk's going to go ahead and rotate forward this. Super Fritz not level 4 yet. Meanwhile, Yue has got his own Mystic Gush, so that's an advantage that Aurora can play with for this first Turtle.
Fritz is so delayed. Turtle now at less than half health. Massive Gush from Yue. And there is a Appraiser's Wrath putting down the members of Onic, but they still hold their ground. King Kong with a Poisat, but Demon Kite yeets that turtle from underneath them.
King Kong didn't even use his Retribution, and he was in range. Quick, a simple take there despite the rotation by Severo.
The question is why? Brusco here, barely alive. Why would King Kong hesitate?
Yeah, I don't know. I thought that was an easy turtle take for them, secured with how that fight played out, but that doesn't happen. And now look, they're going to put pressure on this side of the jungle of King Kong. He's got to wait for the team to respond with him. But man, talk about a delay towards Onic. And a big part of that, again, was Super Fritz wasn't level 4.
Yeah, Aurora, or excuse me, Onic also knows that they need to take all the advantages that they could get early on. There's no other reason why they would call Severo to join in for a very, very early 5 versus 4. He's slightly gapped right now, so he has to hold his minion waves and freeze so he can farm just a little bit better, while Dominkite is going for his Doming double in the center. Onic might really regret that moment, but they still have 2 turtles to work through. If they can get at least one while keeping it close and not give any stacks.
Oh, Gush on the Light. Dash is back. In comes King Kong. Slightly off sync. Onic, very M5-like, running into a brush with blind vision. King Kong knows better.
Yeah, good response there, good recovery. Could have gotten way worse for either side. Good amount of pressure coming through though too. Meanwhile, in this XP lane, it's pretty much a stalemate between Edward and Kirk.
Whoa!
Done.
Yue is not surviving this. Super Fritz gets first blood.
Perfect layering there. Onic need to take those moments, while you and Light have to do as much as they can to reduce that happening. Clear miscommunication and lack of connection there from Aurora. despite the great start that they've had to this game with the first turtle win that they were able to secure. Slight lead here for the Fredrin over the Baksha in terms of gold. EXP-wise, though, also a slight lead for Demon Kite.
Yep, Severo doing a good job there, freezing the lane. He's got control over it. This turtle's coming up here now, though, too. So Onic off of that, grabbing the first blood just under the 4-minute mark. This turtle is up. He grabs a glowing wand. So first item locked in for Super Prince. Corrosive Scythe for Severo. There's a projectile stun on Edward. But he's going to be fine, Bravest Fighter, but they're just going to go for it.
Glorious Pathway dropped in by Brusco. Puissance by King Kong, holding that front line. Light looking for someone in the back. Severo wails away with those light wheels. And here's their own stolen Glorious Pathway. Turtle still up, and Demon Kite takes it again.
No retry
again from King Kong?
Yeah, well, how? Why is he not using his retry? Was he just slightly out of the range of the turtle, it seems like? But that was just a nice little pull by Aurora.
Yeah, he might, maybe he's, I don't know if he's out of range or not, but that's twice now in a row. So Aurora, they look to take down this tier 1 turret. There's a response from Onic. They're just trying to hold it on. They will, but they're going to fight.
And there's a bait. King Kong still alive. Brusco with that Glorious Pathway. Demon Kite in jeopardy. Demon Kite falls. The pressure finds him. Now Yue is going to be up next. Light wheels short as Yue flickers back.
Bait play. They needed to get a win because of the 2 objective wins that Aurora has gotten. There is so much pressure right now on the pressure on Severo and of course on Dominkite, as well. He rushed the Piercer. They know there's so much value in the Sky Piercer, which is why I was considering Onic would want to take it for themselves. So it's a ticking time bomb. Will Aurora activate alongside Domin getting his stack, or will Onic be able to stop that? He even rushed the Malefic Roar. He excluded the Hunter Strike altogether.
Yeah, a bit of a rush there. Oh, whoa, again, a big pickoff for Super Prince against Yue. He's landing the combos.
I think Onic are baiting Aurora into a false sense of security.
Yeah, and they know they need to pressure this Valentina because it brings so much value in team fights, damage, and everything that she can pack with whatever ultimate that she decides to steal. Side lane minion waves need to be handled by Onic, so they send Severo down bot. They still don't have any push on the tower. This is what's going to hurt Onic for their next takes for Turtle 3 and Lord 1. Their lack of map control, and Aurora hell-bent on protecting all of their first-tier towers.
Yeah, they want to hold this one down bot. Severo continuing to farm up here. He's just slightly behind right now, Dominkite. Aurora might be in a position where they're just waiting for Dominkite to get these stacks that he needs on the Granger, providing the space to work with. They've gotten 2 of the turtles. We'll see if Onic wants to use the Retribution to secure this one for the 3rd and last turtle of the game.
Well, Light running through 2. Super Prince and King Kong compromised. Brusco trying to exit that small brush. In comes King Kong, holding that roll.
Many pokes.
Twice now, King Kong has not been able to Retribution inside the pit.
Yeah.
Let's see if the 3rd one's the charm. Brusco dropping that Glorious Pathway. Edward cutting right through the formation. Down goes Brusco. A stack for Dominkite. Gush on gosh action as Yue gets frozen. And DK scores again. Kirk in no man's land. Flickers back. Might get another stack over.
Body block.
Dominkite will finish it. Serving up a kill to Yue. King Kong dashes on out. Puissance to survive. Severo won't even get the push in the bottom lane.
The golden hour was perfect from Light. Defensively, the Gush ended up getting blocked, and it protected the US. Severo and Onic decided to leave the turtle in mid, and they tried to go for the tower and bot, but it was covered really well because of the river flow, and Aurora have the lead in the mid game. Onic are running out of time. It's a ticking time bomb. The Sky Piercer stacks on this Granger.
They'll start to build up here off of that swing. It was a good attempt for Onic to try to make something happen around that turtle, but if that was a depiction or a preview of what could happen for the Lord, that's not the type of fight or the positioning that they want to replicate. Now Dominkite picks up a Hunter Strike. He's going to pick up a turret here. Tier 1's going to fall as well as Aurora continues to open up the map further. And now for Onic, they're scrambling. Severo will take a tier 1 up top himself to get something, but look at this pressure on tier 2. Aurora is just going to full send it, taking down another turret on the bottom side of the map.
Onic are just finding ways to balance. They won't be able to take the 2nd tower up top.
Concealed by Light, forcing a flicker out of Super Prince. Brusco defensive views of the Glorious Pathway. This is not good Aurora smell blood in the water. They know that Onic are scrambling.
Now, all the turtles go into Aurora. The 2 retributions King Kong weren't able to use. The save by Light on that golden hour. Looks really bad for Onic, but Aurora, imagine how it feels. You're so close. You have the lead.
Yeah.
You've had the toughest season a world champion has ever gotten after winning the world championship. You barely made it into the playoffs. And now here you are, 1 win away, maybe just 4 to 5 minutes away from defeating 3rd place Onic, a rarity in the history of MPLPH.
Well, right now they got control of the Lord here as it's about half health as Onic is going to get flushed out.
Gush from Prince, flushed out of that position by Edward.
They lose
and
this.
the Lord gets easily taken by the Northern Lights.
Oh man, that is exactly why Aurora chose this composition. And Demon Kite, talk about a hero for comfort. He's played this Fredrin so much that he's just full confident around the objectives and the team can help him secure it that way. So now Onic defaults to let's just defend, let's use this composition we have to clear out this first Lord and to hold on to what we have.
Defending not going to be the easiest for Onic because they have to eat an entire salvo of Rhapsodies coming out of that Granger. They have their gourd.
Oh, they hit the Gush on the Light and the stun, the golden hour. They do stop and play. Super Prince still waiting. Kirk still can engage with the Dark Infernal Pursuit, and King Kong falls. Just like that, the back line, Mr. Consistent, drop, serving up a kill to Domin Kite, but they trade 2 for 2. He falls alongside Light.
That tempers it a little bit. It could have been a massive loss for Onic. They will still lose towers. The tower at bot was able to be charged by the Lord, but Severo stays alive. Aurora still have a lead, but you see how difficult and awkward it is for Onic to take these engagements. The golden hour stops a lot of the Mystic Gush. I think so far a lot of the better Mystic Gushes have been coming out of Yue.
Yeah. Aside from the picks that Super Prince has been able to get, those kills that he set up in the earlier portion and mid portion of the game, right now the team fight Gushes that are coming through from Yue, especially playing around the golden hour, is proving to be a obstacle that Onic has to overcome here. Taking a look at the items, you can see also Severo has been able to relatively come online on this carry. He is a big source of the damage after Super Prince gets the Gush out. The problem is King Kong needs a little more defensiveness to withstand that front line. Him and Kirk both so crucial here in providing the space that's needed for Onic's line to work.
Yeah, with how awkward it is for Onic, seems like majority of the wins that they're going to be getting or potential comebacks are going to be in those base sieges after Aurora gets the Lord. Still, they've opened up the map somewhat, but still, it is 6 towers broken by Aurora to Onyx 2. They even haven't been able to get the tower in mid, which is why it's tough to see a scenario where Onic are going to win a team fight outside of the base siege.
Yeah, this is one of those situations again where, you know, Lord's coming up here in about 30 seconds. Onic was completely flushed out of that side of the jungle. Can they do things differently? Have they gotten themselves to a position where they can't easily get pushed out to contend for that Lord? It's crucial they're able to make that happen. A Maleficent Gun for Severo, now a little more extra range for this carry. Could be a difference maker on this last item pickup, but also the threat that is Super Prince. He's got a little extra movement speed now. Still has a glowing wand. He's working on his 3rd item. But the Lord is up now. Onic wants to get in position. King Kong's got to come through. Maybe a drive-by with a retribution, or they spot something out. Light already giving the information over. Brusco, half health already, just off of a couple shots. King Kong waiting in position, but Aurora, they'll take their time with this one.
So they see Super Prince down bottom. They know that he threw out a projectile. Light is just hiding. This is devious.
That's signature Light play. It's the Light Bush.
Yep, Light's bush.
The Light angle.
The Light angle. He's waiting for this. He's providing the potential to just swoop on in. A quarter of the health of the Lord.
At an 8 out of 10.
Whoa!
Find Edward. They blast him. Puissance off of King Kong. DK with a secure. Lord post take. Nothing from Onic as Aurora just dealt the splits.
The momentary stuns coming out of the Platinum Snap was just perfect from Light, despite Edward being brought low. If Onic full committed that, it would have been worse. But Aurora will now be able to push the siege. Again, this is where we will see if Onic can make a comeback or not. Through this defense, the only way that they can. They're zoned out in every objective fight. Dominasi on this Granger. If he remains unchecked, Onic are going home.
Good defensive item here picked up for King Kong. Gets the Guardian Helm. He's going to need it alongside Kirk, who's only got the 2 items locked in, the War Axe and the Anti-Cuirass. They're going to have to deal with this push coming through in the best way possible without going down. If they can get a pick, utilizing Super Prince, that's even better. But the best case scenario for them is just to stay in the base and defend as they want to go ahead, stay alive in the playoffs here. This crucial base defense is so important as the Lord pushes in to the bottom turret, knocking it down. They still maintain mid and top. Can Onic withstand the push here as they clear out the Lord?
Permanent damage to Onic structures. Constantly bleeding is that long lane. And in comes Aurora. They're looking to collapse. Golden Hour stopping the damage from the turret. The gush from Yue. They take down Edward. Savero's damage is real. And here they come. The guy with an Appraiser Draft. He gets taken down too. Savero double kill. The pressure is online.
Severo is playing out of his mind. He's doing everything he can to not get eliminated in the first round of his first ever MPLPH playoffs. But Dominasi still proving to be elusive. The trades that Onic keep finding are just frontliners. Well, there's always going to be at least one more frontliner left to supplement Yue and Dominasi.
Oh man, that was a base defense that Onic needed. Mind you, being down almost 8,000 gold. This is more so, again, playing to their strengths, and right now with this composition, the strength is on the defense. It allows Severo to go ahead and continue to do what he's been doing. Yes, he's most likely got to wait to have this flicker back up, but they've got some time to go ahead and control this. A Divine Glaive for Super Prince. You've seen the amount of damage that he's able to do initially, and then Severo comes swooping in to capitalize on the kills. They got to clear out the bottom wave.
King Kong uses Retribution to steal the purple buff away from Dominasi as Super Prince got Onic's side of the map's purple buff. So it's a purple buff-less Fredrin. He is going to be able to secure his orange though, unless they already gave that to Dominasi. Getting very close to the point where the items barely matter anymore. Fully locked in are the 2 gold laners. Both have rose gold meteors instead of immortalities. We might be seeing some crazy buy and sells during team fights. And I think it might be warranted for one of the frontliners for either team to commit a Winter Crown just to force resources out, survive through that, and then go ahead and fight. But the thing is, the economy is so tight right now, especially for Onic.
Well, let's see this one. Lord up once again, 3rd one of the game. Aurora has had total control of objective space throughout the past ones. Onic, what does Onic want to do here?
Onic has no map. They have to pull a gambit of a lifetime.
Lord here at 1/3 of its health, held on by Aurora. This is a dance for the ages. Light flushes out Brusco. Brusco holding on to that brush, as well as the
siapa kaya yang akan mendapatkan Lordnya guys ya?
King Kong for the first time.
King Kong. Nggak bisa cok. Cok. Aduh, dapat Edward guys. Anjir guys. Waring harusnya orang dulu sih tadi cok. Sumpah salah sih Onic. Nice tapi nice. Nice Onic. Onic masih 5 cok.
Onic still get
Aurora
bodies.
sisa 2.
But Edward miraculously got the last hit on the Lord after both junglers used their retributions. The map still looks terrible for Onic, but they will march through mid. How are they gonna handle this?
Oh, Dominasi is looking to escort the Lord. Onic will run through mid. Yue with a stolen Glorious Battle to slow down the waves.
Light's gonna be up. They can defend.
They can't afford to pressure the mid.
Carry. Nice banget anjir Scorpion. Gila dimanja banget cok Savera cok.
Like that. Onic have to go back on the defense.
Well, man, talk about close. Talk about a clenched fist on both sides, breaking out into a fight. Edward, yes, somehow securing that Lord. We have to take a look at the replay on this one. Again, so close here. Edward's right by that Lord. Both junglers using the Retribution.
It's the second swing of his Raging Slash.
Yeah.
The Retribution both fell, but it was the second swing from the ultimate of the Lapu Lapu that actually secured it. But the commitment of Onic to chase for this, crazy, and the right call. Aurora also couldn't have handled that any better. We thought the ticking time bomb was the Skypers or Stacks, but Dominkai, with how long this game got on and how Onic were able to minimize their kills, they can barely get Stacks on it. So it's a kid named Clayton who flew many kilometers from home to replace a man that we call the gold standard in Onic Philippines, who is stepping up to the plate in his first season as the first import for the Philippines. This is a legacy-defining game for Severo.
Again, if you ever wondered the effect of an import in the MPL Philippines, you're seeing it right here. Now, can they end it by turning this game completely over as they've done throughout the minutes up to this point? Getting rid of about 8,000 gold that was built up by Aurora and has essentially led them to an even Lord take.
This is the smallest gold lead Aurora has had this entire game, save for maybe the first 5 minutes.
Yeah.
So Onic now, I guess this is the best time in Game 5 to say it's Onic time. This Lord coming up next, as long as they take care of that long lane, is contestable. And no longer is it just a coin flip.
Yeah.
I think Onic have a solid response to it, a solid engage, since all of their battle spells are off cooldown too.
The Gourd is up to a Divine Glaive, has the magic. The Lightning Truncheon and the Blood Wings is the difference maker. Kirk and how he's going to handle these fights. There's been a lot of damage coming toward Light, Edward, and Demon Kite's way every time they show themselves in the front. But Aurora still have the map, despite everything we've said. Aurora still has minion priority, map priority. It might be too tough
Lord
of a task
penentuan
for
guys,
Onic.
Lord penentuan guys. Siapa kah yang bakal mendapatkan Lordnya ya guys ya?
Can Aurora use the map to their advantage? There's a wave inside.
Apakah Onic atau Aurora ini penentuannya ya?
Onic to respond. They're sending Prince to it. In Aurora are doing what the Philippines has been doing for the better past of the half decade. The dance.
This is a throwback to the dance between these two heroes, the Fredrin and the Baksha. Onic has clawed themselves back up to actually be able to contest against this Lord, and it's the evolved one that they're going to have to fight against. Lord, Light again.
Did they see him? They saw him.
Light Bush.
Prince looking for his teammates. Light running through.
Nice
And the
banget.
Gush! The
Astaga,
Golden Hour is
Cok.
still standing. Lord gets reset. And they get a lot of
Nice,
damage on him.
nice,
Super
nice,
Prince
nice.
takes him out the Puissance. And the Glorious Pathway.
Severo.
He gets jumped on by
Nice
Kark.
banget,
You
nice
is
banget,
down.
nice
Demon Kite
banget.
2. And Edward is going to be up next on the docket.
Nice, Edward yang
Takes him
menenjoy.
down. Onic are gonna wipe out Aurora. King
Doming.
Kong finds Doming. Doming Kite gets his immortality pop. It's just a matter of time. The Super
Akhirnya
Fam
Onic
have
yang
proven
masuk, guys,
that
ya.
imports can play in FPLPH as they eliminate
Super fans, right here with us is a team who showed so much dedication throughout Season 17. This is a team that poured their heart up to the last game of the season. Champions Arena, for the last time this season, please dedicate a warm round of applause to Aurora Gaming Philippines. You know, Odin, hindi lang Aurora ang pumapalakpak.
You know, Aurora,
nila, pati yung Onic,
it wasn't just Aurora fans that are clapping for them. It's even the Onic fans, the super fans, the dedication that they've had.
Master the basics hanggang dulo.
All the way to the end.
How
Coach
proud
Master
of
the
you
basics.
for your team.
How proud of you of your team
Dulo,
from what you've seen up here to this point, to this end.
Sobrang proud ako kasi
He's really proud
maganda yung naging regular season namin.
because even what they went through the regular season, and they gave everything that they had, they gave their all here for the playoffs.
Appreciate all your efforts as well as your whole team. And with me is Edward. Edward, nakasama ka namin sa napakaraming seasons.
Edward, you've been with us for so many seasons for the MPL Philippines. You're still here
Ng championships.
through all your championships, through all your games that you've always been
You're
through.
staying with the whole community, hindi lang sa Aurora, kundi
You're staying with the whole community, not just Aurora.
daanan mo. What do you want to say to all your supporters?
What do you want to say with all your supporters, Edward?
Ayun. Sobrang thank you sa sumuporta sa amin.
I'm so thankful for all the support for us, all the way to the end,
Nabigo namin kayo.
all the way to this point.
Steven, kahit do you want to say something?
Maraming salamat sa mga sumusuporta sa Aurora.
Thank you to everyone who really supported all of us in Aurora.
Thank you so much, Aurora. Gusto kong tanungin si Super Friends. Super Friends!
Now I'd like to talk to Super Friends. Super Friends.
Sa huling dalawang games nyo against Aurora Gaming, na-pick mo yung dalawa mong signature heroes. That's Louie.
You picked your
and,
signature
that's
heroes,
Gord.
Louie and Gord.
Pinakita mo doon. And alam natin na kahit pa 6th seed yung Aurora coming into the playoffs.
And we know even though Aurora 16 in the playoffs,
Dahil sila ay currently world champions.
they are a threat because they're the current world champions. What was your mindset coming into the matchup against Aurora?
Complacent against them.
To not be complacent against them.
Naging mindset namin papasok dito sa match na to, parang i-treat pa rin namin sila na
We came to this matchup
kahit na nasa
and we treated them as world champs.
may kita
World class.
Talagang pinaghandaan nyo ng Super Friends And ano naman yung nararamdaman nyo na kanina tigi-tigisa kayo ng points. At pagdating ng Game 5, it's the last
Well, I got to the Game 5.
take against them. What
This is the
was
last one you could
going
take.
through your mind or ano ba yung
What was going through your mind at that point?
Siguro nung nag-game 5 parang ano eh. Nag-ano na lang kami eh. All in na lang kami sa
We were all in for Game 5
kasi do or die tsaka...
because it was a do or die for us, so we had to win.
Last question for you, Super Friends.
Last question for you, Super
Biggest
Prince.
takeaway mo dito sa match nyo?
What's your biggest takeaway against your match against Aurora Gaming?
Coach, tulong.
Coach, help me, please.
Ano daw siya? Ano ba ang
Coach Hayes, please help.
ng buong team?
Di ba po nagpa-process sa akin na ano eh.
I haven't processed yet. So we have more to work on. There's more things we need to work on.
Yan bukas sa laro muli.
And they'll be playing against
Philippines.
Team Falcons
Once
tomorrow.
again, give it up for your match winner, Onic Philippines. You may now take your walk of victory. Odin, with what coach said, I can't wait for their matchup tomorrow. Absolutely. Alam natin na meron pa silang ibubuga sa kanilang mga susunod na laro. For the meantime, alamin natin
Por si
what are the
sofa,
thought of
coba
our
kayaknya,
casters,
depannya tuh ya,
casters.
guys ya.
Palag na to.
There we go. Thank you so much. First off, GGWP to Aurora Gaming Philippines. You guys had a fantastic run through the season. At the end there, trying to get back in form. Unfortunately, we know how competitive it is here in the MPL Philippines, and so come back stronger, and hopefully, again, we get to see them improve. Now, congratulations to the second lives now that Onic Philippines has moving forward. And this guy right here, man, MVP, Severo, 6-0-5. We questioned if this was the right pick, the carry in the draft, and it ended up being the pick to get the MVP.
Because of how demanding this was for Severo, he needed to play the perfect game. He was juggling items around like crazy there in the end, and this carry needed to survive. Let's put a different idea on what could have been. If Aurora still considered their Marcel pick, and then Onic instead of the carry picked up a Granger and high loss, theoretically if Aurora went carry, it would have been easier for Onic because they have their own Gord combo, Gord Granger, their Gush, they have the Phobius. Much easier to deal with a carry there. But the problem is now in reality, looking at Dominasi and looking at how he played this game, it just reached that stopgap of how come I can't kill anyone anymore? I need my Piercer stacks. Aurora needed to end this game quick. If Onic stretched this out, they would have won. If Severo stayed alive and unkillable, they would have won, and that's exactly what happened. Look at this crazy moment here where Severo was just pounced on by 2 or 3 members of Aurora, and it was just King Kong and Brusco helping him out, protecting him, making sure he survived, because they know it all banks on this carry to be able to carry Onic to victory.
You know what? I think it's this unorthodox choice that actually led to Aurora playing out of their element in the later parts of this game. And it might just be the fact that, yeah, Severo grew up in a different environment, played different kinds of heroes, fought different kinds of teams that make him such a lethal gold laner in FLPH.
Yeah, definitely so. Not just down to his unique hero pool that he brought out, but even to make something like the carry work in this type of composition. Mind you, too, part of that was just the way that they adjusted. I mean, think about how much they had to gain back in this game because it was Aurora knocking on their doors early on. You know,
10 Gs, Joseph. Almost 10 Gs they had to crawl through.
Almost 10 Gs, man. And it's interesting, too, to see the fact that Super Prince being 5-0-9 on the board, how much insight we got back in the regular season where Coach was saying that, yes, Super Prince played a whole lot of Gord in their scrims, in their matches leading up to this. And you could see it, and it ends up working really well. Because this is not the typical synergy we see with the Harley. He ended up making it work so well to the point where he was getting early kills for Onic to keep things somewhat controlled, or getting out of control for Aurora.
Yeah, and Super Prince is the second element of the whole picture. It just wasn't all Severo. Super Prince landed a bunch of Mystic projectiles and gushes that actually helped Onic in the long run. He too was deathless and played a perfect game. And Onic being able to minimize the wins Aurora were able to get, despite there at one point being, if I'm not mistaken, 20 stacks on the piercer of Dominasi, they stopped giving him any more after that. And a lot of those turnaround moments, the damage that was coming out towards Edward, Demonkite, and Light were first initially from Prince, and then Savero would swoop in with his own damage.
Yeah, there was just a lot of good points here throughout this game. We're going to be thrown over for some insights from Hans and Wolf on what they think.
What a match that was para umpisahan ang ating Season 17 playoffs. Your winners are Onic Philippines at ang kasama natin ay walang iba kundi sina Brusco and Savero. Guys, congratulations with that recent win. I think we've talked to you about that interview kasama nung ating mga hosts, pero may ipapakita kami sa inyo this time. Or maybe just, you know, mental check kasi kinukwentuhan mo ko kanina, Brusco, about that last clash na parang may mga nararamdaman niya, everything was so loud. What was going through your head during those last times?
Nung last clash parang expect talaga namin na na susugurin nila si Savero, mag-all-in sila. Kaya ang call namin, kung sino yung papasok, yun na lang yung patay namin. Tapos sabi ni Savero, yung Valentina lang daw sa kanya, yung Valenda lang daw yung papatay sa kanya. So, zero-ni-correct yung Valen. So, walang damage kay Savero, kaya naka-fade siya.
That was, again, really crucial when you think about it, right?
Napaka-solid yung sinabi ni Brusco. Actually, i-play natin itong clip. I will play the clip for you. Can you tell us what you were thinking during these moments and how did you command your team to eventually win this?
Gua cuma minta di kill sama Valen, cuman Valen yang bisa bunuh gua.
Anjay.
Target Valen aja.
Target Valen aja, anjay.
Basta Valen lang daw yung threat sa kanya. Tapos pag walang Valen kaya napatayin lahat.
Did you feel that you were the best gold laner during these clutch moments?
That's a pretty good question.
Maybe. Because the damage dealer is only.
Okay, at that point, I think, or he thinks that he's the only damage dealer, so he really has to perform out of this world. I think.
What was your heart rate during that moment? What do you think was your heart rate during that moment?
Were you nervous?
160 ay. 160 or 150.
That's a lot. That's a lot when you think about it. Pero Brusco, heading forward into your next match, nabanggit na ni King Kong to, this is just very little preparation na kailangan yung gawin being at the play-ins. How are you gonna be looking forward to your next match?
Siguro, ito, pahinga saglit, tapos review ng game ng Falcons, tapos mag-ano kami, kung ano yung draft namin bukas laban sa Falcons.
And Savero, I don't know about you, but the Sonics right here were supporting you all throughout. Sobrang tindi. They were cheering for you upon that last clash. What is your message to all of them?
Makasih buat yang dukung semua. Walaupun gamenya gak gampang, tapi kalian tetap dukung kita dan percaya sama gua. Makasih buat semuanya. Jangan lupa dukung buat next match juga.
Maraming salamat daw po sa mga pumunta at sumuporta sa amin. At pasensya na rin daw kung di naging madali yung laban namin kasi sobrang lakas rin talaga ng Aurora. Sana patuloy nyo daw kami suportaan sa parating na laban namin bukas.
Again, I'm sure they're all gonna be here, right? For tomorrow, and we are all looking forward to it para sa inyong mga susunod na laban. Muli, maraming salamat to Brusco and Savero. And that right there is Wolf. My name is Hans Galeria, but I think it is now time for us to take note of the Infinix Liquid Cooling. Beast Mode mic check. Here it goes.
Hero tayo. Ito harap. Kalma. Hero pre. Lapo. Paski play lapo. Harapan lang. Fred. Isang ka, pre. Ay, ingat sa Ranger, guys. Ingat lang, ha. Get bastard. Harap lang, pre. Nasaan ko, Marcel? Nasaan ko, Marcel, pre? Mangat sila. Marcel, GG. Hero. Sa akin. Secret, pre. Kaya. Fred. Guys, guard. Kaya. Meet. And a boss alert, ha. Tara,